As soon as they stepped off the plane, the group was immediately greeted by 60 Mercedes-Benz cars, which took them straight to the new movie city. Before, I had only heard rumors that Lim Yong-won was proud and courteous, but they were just words. Today, seeing it with my own eyes, I could truly feel his overwhelming presence, a charisma that outshines everything, like a force so powerful it eclipses the sky. The moment this man appears, the entire atmosphere seems to bend in an indescribable way. His commanding aura is so immense, it feels like it stretches for thousands of miles, shaking the world and making waves across the global economy. At that moment, all the beautiful women in the selection group seemed stunned, like they had been struck by lightning. Their faces turned bright red, and their eyes sparkled as if they had just found their soulmate. Oh my god, Lim Yong-won is unbelievably handsome. This is what real attraction looks like. Looking at him is enough to make you faint. I feel like I've just fallen head over heels in love. Wah! Meanwhile, Chen Yuan casually lifted his arm, a gesture that seemed effortless, yet radiated the air of a powerful tycoon, proud and unbothered. Everyone, disperse. Don't make a big deal out of this. I'm not interested in these flashy, showy displays. But at that moment, many of the young women started whispering excitedly to each other, all filled with amazement and excitement. In particular, the 60 beautiful contestants in the group were all wide-eyed, frozen for 5 seconds, their minds spinning as if a tsunami had just swept through. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Is this the new film center? I want to take pictures and post them right away. At first, I thought Tiananmen, the movie city, was just an undeveloped plot of land, but I had no idea it would turn into such a magnificent city. It's like a dream fortress. Compared to the film centers in the capital, this place is several times larger, so the architects really had the freedom to unleash their creativity and design these incredible structures. As Chen Yuan walked off in search of a quieter spot, someone quietly followed, not discouraged, not crying, not giving up, but instead growing even more determined. All of this was for a dream, for a silhouette, for someone who perhaps would never look back in this lifetime. This man was so outstanding, so exceptional, that Kim Hae-won came to a harsh realization. No matter how hard I run after him, I'll always be like an ant staring up at the sky or an eagle is soaring. But a one-sided love isn't the version of heartbreak you see in the movies. It's more like this obsession where you're so smitten that you let people laugh at you, yet you just comfort yourself. But I don't regret it. If I can't walk through life side by side with Chen Yuan, then at least I'm happy just watching him from afar. Even if I'm just an ordinary employee in his company, I'm okay with it. No complaints, no bitterness. Honestly, just being close to him, even if it's only for a moment, is enough for me. As long as I can see him from behind, follow his every step, I'm willing to give up everything for it. Kim Hae-won, favorite level plus 1 favorite level at 100 points. Ding! The master is too cool. The overwhelming presence makes Kim Hae-won's heart race, officially pushing the favorite level past 100. Clink! Discovery! The 4th target has reached the system's maximum points. Reward! All attributes plus 10, enhancement points plus 50. But never mind. Thinking too much only brings pain, so Kim Hae-won tried to adjust her emotions, quickly hiding the intense gaze from earlier so she wouldn't seem completely hopeless. But once your heart starts beating like this, who can stop it? While some people are still quietly admiring from afar, Kim Hae-won is the first to act. She carefully stepped forward, holding a thermos with a little nervousness in her expression, but she tried her best to stay calm. Chen Yuan, I made this rib soup for you. I saw you've been so busy and haven't eaten anything. Please try it. As she finished speaking, she held out the soup box right in front of him, her hands shaking slightly from nerves. Looking back, I realized I wasn't nearly as nervous in school when I stood in front of Chen Yuan. But for some reason, as he became more popular and even more talented, I started feeling like I couldn't stay as calm as I used to. Maybe it's because when you're in front of someone you like, it's hard not to feel a little flustered, right? At that moment, Chen Yuan looked up, saw who it was, and gave a small smile. Oh, it's Hae-won. I haven't eaten yet. Thanks for bringing this. He casually opened the thermos, and a wonderful aroma filled the air, so delicious it practically woke up my senses. Without hesitation, Chen Yuan dug in, nodding as he ate. Wow, this really smells amazing. Watching him enjoy the food made Kim Hae-won feel a rush of happiness. It wasn't just any happiness, it was the kind that made her feel light and dreamy, almost like she wanted to shout but didn't dare to. Just one compliment, and all the effort of cooking and the tiredness that came with it felt completely worth it. Especially when she stood so close to Chen Yuan, her heart raced with every beat. Now seeing him sitting right in front of her, eating the ribs like they were the most delicious, expensive dish in the world, how could she not feel excited? Without hesitating, Kim Hae-won boldly suggested, Chen, take your time eating. If you like it, I'll cook for you anytime you want. Chen Yuan chewed on a rib, then looked up, smiling warmly. Haruwan, thank you. It was a simple statement, but it made Kim Haruwan's heart skip a few beats. You're welcome, Chen. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. While Kim Haruwan was lost in this perfect moment, over in the corner, Ni Wen-Kyuzai sat alone, clearly frustrated. She was trying to find a way to approach Chen Yuan, but had no chance. Perhaps this was just the fate of someone talented. There's an old saying, when heaven gives someone a heavy responsibility, it first makes them suffer, face hardship, endure hunger, and struggle both physically and mentally. It sounds deep, but it boils down to, if you're good, you'll suffer, and if you're not, you won't. But Kim Haruwan, even though she's at the bottom of the rankings, still keeps her dignity. She doesn't resort to flattery, nor does she try to sneak around and kiss up to anyone. She just wants to rely on her own abilities. As for Liu Qianwen, she's a bit more shameless. Knowing she doesn't stand a chance in the competition, she quickly ran over to cling to me, hoping to use me to climb higher. While Ni Wen-Kyuzai was still thinking about the life of an assassin, a voice suddenly interrupted, pulling her back to reality. Sister QZ, I just went over the script again. You have a kissing scene with a male lead, right? Are you really going to kiss Lim Yum-won? Normally, this wouldn't have been a big deal, but Liu Qianwen asked so directly, with no beating around the bush or hinting, that Ni Wen-Kyuzai felt a little awkward. However, instead of reacting with excitement or shouting, Ni Wen-Kyuzai remained calm and casually replied, yes, that's right. It's just a regular scene, and I have no reason to refuse. Her answer was casual, but for Liu Qianwen, a flurry of thoughts began to rush through her mind. For professional actors, shooting a kissing scene was nothing out of the ordinary, but the real issue was who the male lead was. If it were just any regular actor, no one would care. Chen Yuan was Lim Yong-won, the movie king, the man every girl admired. Then Liu Qianwen asked directly, without thinking twice. Everyone knew that Sister QZ was extremely serious about her work. Once she took on a role, she would never do it half-heartedly. If she said she wasn't refusing, that meant the scene would be shot as realistically as possible. Does that mean the kiss is real and not fake? This time, Ni Wen-Kyuzai also felt a sharp pain in her heart. And now, the deepest thought in her mind was, what will this kiss scene be like? Is it really just acting, or is Chen Yuan actually moved? Oh no, my first kiss, will it really be ruined by the enemy like this? But very quickly, Ni Wen-Kyuzai pushed those distracting thoughts aside. It's okay, the mission is always more important than anything else. If I have to sacrifice even more for it, I won't complain. Besides, it's just a kiss scene in a movie. What's there to be afraid of? And they've landed folks. This time, Lai Jia-mu, who went by the name Lai Mu, was back in China, a former overseas student who graduated from a prestigious school in the US with a degree in architecture. Just hearing that makes you think of someone who owes his knowledge. Now, Fame Corporation was launching a massive project and needed to hire top architects. Of course, right in the middle of all this, Lai Jia-mu, fresh off his return, couldn't have had a more impressive resume. Lai Jia-mu walked out of the airport like a villain, his dark glasses tightly emplaced, his windbreaker fluttering in the breeze, and his cold demeanor as if he could freeze everything around him. Finally, he was back in this beloved land of China. There was a time when I lost everything, when I had nothing but my 2 hands and a heart full of frustration. But now, everything I lost, I want to take back. Chen Yuan, you played me dirty. You ruined my family, a Lai family, pushed me to the streets, made me a beggar, living off scraps and sleeping in sewers. I haven't forgotten the shame you brought me, every bit of it. And now I'm back, and I'm going to pay you back 100 times over. Right now, his most important task was to hide his identity. He hadn't played the part of a regular employee at Fame Corporation, working while secretly gathering information for the Endless Apocalypse organization. Meanwhile, on the other side of the globe, the Assassin organization wasn't just sitting idle either. They were sending elite commandos to Tianmen City, laying low and quietly setting their plans in motion. And all of these missions were being led by Lai Jianu. 1. Expose Chen Yuan and figure out what hidden trump cards he's holding. 2. Steal all the documents related to artificial intelligence. 3. Slow down Fame Corporation's growth, don't let it expand too quickly. 4. And most importantly, eliminate this potential threat before it can explode. In that moment, Lai Jia-mu's eyes were filled with a cruel, cold glare that sent chills down your spine. Life didn't completely close its doors on me. I endured, gritted my teeth, and dragged myself all the way to a foreign land, only a fight against fate. I studied hard, became an architecture major, and graduated from a top university. And now, this is my golden opportunity. Not only to shine, but also to stand in front of Chen Yuan and say, back then, you pushed me down. But now I'm here to put the pressure on you. Time passed quickly, and before I knew it, several days had flown by in the blink of an eye. The talent search program finally found its rhythm, no longer a chaotic mess like before. At this point, the 6 major teams had all started filming. Each team had its own style, and a list of leading ladies for each show was clearly set. Ni Wen-QZ, the spy; Yihan, the schoolgirl; Qin Wushuang, the martial artist; Chen Tiantian, the suspense thriller; Kuo Duling, the office worker; Shang Guanyu, the sci-fi heroine. But then a big problem arose. None of the 6 shows had found a suitable male lead. The directors racked their brains, scouring the entire program, but couldn't find anyone with enough talent. In a desperate move, Yang Sison reluctantly turned to Chen Yuan. So Chen Yuan became the male lead for all 6 shows, taking on the full package of 6 different genres, from innocent school dramas to high-level spy thrillers. At that moment, Chen Yuan had just finished filming a heated, passionate kissing scene. Before he could even catch his breath, Yu Ling Shuang appeared with a serious expression, as if something big was about to happen. "Boss, I have something important to report," she said. Chen Yuan raised an eyebrow. "Go ahead, what's with the serious face?" As a seasoned former spy, Yu Ling Shuang sensed something off. She took a deep breath and quickly said, "Recently, the HR department reported that a lot of students from top-tier universities have been coming here to apply for jobs. But I have a bad feeling about this. These people showed up without any prior warning, and I suspect there might be corporate spies trying to infiltrate the company and steal our secrets." Chen Yuan smirked, his eyes glinting with the cunning of a seasoned professional. "Well, that's easy. You just give the order. Make it mandatory for all employees to download and play War God Temple. The game just added a group feature. I'm the guild leader. Lin Yongwong is rumored to have too much free time, so he invited the employees to play together. Just spread the word like that, and it'll sound perfectly reasonable." Then Chen Yuan gave further instructions to Prosperity. "Prosperity, I want you to infiltrate all the employees' phones as soon as they download War God Temple. Every conversation, text message, and call has to be under surveillance. If anyone's acting suspicious or seems like a spy, let me know immediately. These people won't be able to stir up any trouble on my watch." Prosperity was thrilled when he found out there was a new task. He felt like he'd struck gold. "Don't worry, boss. I guarantee these guys will come in, but they won't be leaving." Hearing Shen Yuan's conversation with Prosperity, Yu Ling Shuang suddenly had a realization and nodded eagerly. "Awesome, boss. I'll get started on the plan right away." Now, Yu Ling Shuang was certain about one thing. This was a sweet trap to catch the spies. Chen Yuan wasn't just about exposing them. He wanted to punish them too. Once he identified who the spies were, he wouldn't rush to take action immediately. Instead, he let them continue working in the company and then unexpectedly assign them to distant projects, putting them in positions no one would expect. Once they were in those positions, it would be impossible to steal information, and there'd be no way for them to escape. One by one, they were reassigned, while the masterminds outside grew more and more confused, not understanding what was going on. It was a strategy of using their own tactics against them. Who could outplay whom? The most important thing was that Chen Yuan had control of a massive secret related to artificial intelligence. And this wasn't just any AI, it had the ability to continuously learn. The more connected to data sources and gathered information, the stronger it became. To put it simply, it was like a genius child, learning thousands of things every day and evolving at a rate that had no end in sight during its upgrades. It was exactly what every power in the world desired. But just as Yu Ling Shuang was curious and about to ask more, Chen Yuan raised his hand to stop her. "Think of this as a good thing. The company is gaining more and more credibility. Talented people are flocking in. It's something to celebrate. You want to play the game of planting spies under my nose? Fine, go ahead. But once you're in, you might find there's no way out." His words blew away like a gust of wind, and Yu Ling Shuang immediately nodded, like a general accepting orders. "Understood. Whatever the boss says, I'll follow." Soon after, Lai Jiamu received his official job offer letter, and just like that, he officially became an architectural engineer at Fei Dun Group. But his happiness didn't last long. Lai Jiamu soon realized a painful truth. His new job at Fei Dun Group, specifically at its subsidiary, was actually an internship position in the architecture department. And the biggest shock, his salary was only $600 a month, with a 6-month internship period before he could become a full-time employee. After hearing this, Lai Jiamu froze. "Before returning to my home country, I thought I'd be treated like royalty, welcomed with a huge salary, maybe even special perks like an expert. But now, here I am stuck in an internship position. My monthly salary isn't even enough to cover a meal at a fancy restaurant, not to mention rent, food, and transportation. Just thinking about having to scrape by, living paycheck to paycheck, makes my head spin and my heart ache." But before I could even process that, HR hit me with another shock. "If you agree, sign the contract and start working. If not, the door's over there. Feel free to walk out, But as an employee, you'll need an account on the game War God Temple. Lim Yong Wong just created a group in the game called Pad Theme Gang. You don't have to join if you don't want to. Everyone has the right to choose, but whether you get paid on time, whether the boss will support you, and whether you get bonuses, that's something you'll have to think about. On my first day of work, I realized I had no way out. Signing this contract with such a low salary, it felt like an insult. Who am I anyway? I have a solid background, graduated with honors from a top university, and now I'm starting from scratch like a fresh graduate. But I decided to hold back my anger. Now was the time to lash out. After all, the main reason I came back wasn't just to make money, it was to bring down Chen Yuan. Let's see who's really going to be the one humiliated. Fine, I'll sign. Finally, the most anticipated scene began. Chen Yuan and Ni Wen Qiu Zai started their roles, performing a romantic kissing scene. This kiss was truly amazing, unbelievably romantic. Even though it was just a spy film, it gave off an indescribable, real feeling. The setting felt so authentic. The suffering of the people, and the fact that the male and female leads were on opposite sides, yet secretly in love with each other, made the love and hatred they felt seem inseparable. Before anyone could snap out of the moment, the director called cut. After observing for a while, Ni Wen Qiu Zai had to admit one thing. Even if he's my rival, he's someone worthy of respect. The kiss was just a gentle brush of the lips, with no awkward moves that would make anyone uncomfortable. The hands were in the right places, nothing was out of order, and there were no strange actions. The whole process was both professional and proper, with everyone fully focused on getting the shot right, showing no signs of taking advantage of the situation. For Ni Wen Qiu Zi, this left a surprisingly deep impression. Ni Wen Qiu Zi's favorite level went up by 30 points, but his current favorite level was still at minus 55 points. Immediately, Chen Yuan glanced over at Ni Wen Qiu Zi, his mind spinning. Wait, what's going on? Why did it suddenly increase so quickly? Could it be because of that kiss scene? During the filming of that, we were both completely serious, giving our all in the performance with no hint of anything fake. Most importantly, I stayed completely professional, not taking advantage of the situation, nor did I overdo anything. Over here, a series of tragic events almost made Lai Jianu blow a fuse. As someone like me, I don't have the patience for games. If there's no progress with Endless Apocalypse, I won't hesitate to use violence to solve the problem. Chen Yuan, who does he think he is? If he doesn't hand over the AI source code willingly, I'll crush his knees with my own hands, make him kneel before me, and give me everything. But after getting burned twice, Lai Jianu learned his lesson and definitely wasn't counting on Endless Apocalypse. He muttered to himself, his eyes cold. Gen modification number 1, Endless Apocalypse, I hope you're not stupid enough to trust traitors like Yubling Shuang and Kange Eon. Don't let Chen Yuan fool you into thinking he's a good guy. And don't even try using beauty as a trick. No one's falling for that anymore. You think I'm the type to take orders from anyone? Haha, what I care about isn't the AI source code, it's Chen Yuan's life. Only when he's dead will the Lai family finally be able to wash away this grudge. Just wait, when my 500 Special Forces soldiers are all assembled, I'll wipe out Chen Yuan and everyone behind him, including Dong Xuan, the medicine god. As for the assassin organization, they're just tools for me to use to do my dirty work. Don't even dream of thinking someone like me would be your errand boy. At that moment, a huge guy suddenly approached, speaking a friendly tone as if he and Lai Mu shared a deep bond. You're Lai Mu, a new intern starting today, right? Lei Jianu nodded to confirm, yes, but he didn't expect that this simple answer would make the large man look at him with obvious irritation. Good, take the broom and clean up the meeting room. The senior leaders are having a meeting today. Don't leave a speck of dust. For a moment, Lai Jianu felt like the world around him was collapsing. What? Hold a broom and clean up? Me, someone who once sat at the top of the power structure, who controlled hundreds of billions of dollars, who made countless forces tremble. Now I'm being told to clean the meeting room? This is an insult. Is this fat guy trying to get himself killed? But I can't react. The plan is more important. If I show too much emotion now, it'll be like digging my own grave. However, the fat guy didn't seem like he was going to let him off the hook. Seeing Lai Jianu standing there motionless, he glared at him and snapped. What are you standing there for? Go clean up now. Lai Jianu struggled to control the burning anger inside him. With no other choice, he picked up the broom and silently started sweeping, acting like a janitor. But just as he was trying to accept this miserable fate, the fat guy kept adding fuel to the fire. Haha, don't think just because you came back from Massachusetts you can skip cleaning. As the new guy, you need to show some initiative. Until you've contributed something to the company, you're just a useless intern. A fancy degree is just your ticket in. Don't get cocky. The reason I'm having you clean is to give you a chance to prove yourself, not so you can stand there with that attitude. What do you think you are? Each word, every sentence echoed in Lai Jianu's ears. Every trivial command felt like a knife slicing into his pride, making him so angry he wanted to breathe fire. He had once been a young master, someone who could command the winds, someone who had stepped on countless people without a second thought. And now he was being told what to do like a lowly errand boy. But it didn't stop there. Lai Jiamu continued to be bossed around by a group of people who had no idea what they were doing. Lai Mu, go get me a cup of coffee. Lai Mu, stamp these documents and take them to the office. Lai Mu, bring 2 chairs over here. The leaders need them for a meeting. After enduring so much frustration, Lai Jiamu's ability to hold back his anger had reached a new level. He had become a master of patience, of enduring and accepting all kinds of demeaning tasks. After being pushed around with every kind of petty task, Lai Jiamu returned to his seat, took a deep breath, and forced himself to calm down. A nobleman takes his revenge patiently. 10 years may not be too long to wait, but a petty man can take revenge the very same day, without delay. I can't just stand here like a dead tree, always being ordered around, but I can't act recklessly right now. However, I'm certain the time to act is approaching fast. Just as he finished thinking this, the opportunity came. The assistant walked up, holding a stack of documents, and said, "This document is important. It needs to be delivered to Boss Lady Yu personally." As soon as those words were spoken, Lai Jiamu froze. Yu Ling Shuang. A surge of anger instantly shot up from his chest, his fists clenched tightly, and his knuckles cracked. Yu Ling Shuang, that traitor. Back then, she was nothing but a loyal dog by my side, and now she's turning on me. How much time, how many resources from the Lai family went into supporting her? And now she stabs me in the back. Who does she think she is? On top of that, I have to lie low in this company, being looked down on by her subordinates. Even the lowest of her subordinates treating me like a runner. This traitor will pay a heavy price.